Hey everyone, Genome here. Just out here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon out here in the back roads of West Virginia, soaking up some miles. I've been grossly negligent about putting out these videos, these motovlog videos, but it's not the main focus of the channel. Especially difficult this time of year when it's so bloody hot, you know. I know I keep whining about that, but sometimes it's hard to get up the drive to jump out of the nice air-conditioned house, or even from doing stuff outside around the house to sweating on the motorcycle stuff. But it's not that hot today, so it's a beautiful, clear day. Plus, it's been kind of raining up here, so anyway, all excuses aside, just wanted to show you some of the beautiful countryside we got out here. A couple months, this will all be gray and bare, but for now, it's a verdant green. But unfortunately, I should pass this guy here. But just a gorgeous, gorgeous day, and I wanted to give a shout out actually to another motovlogger, one who's much more dedicated than I am and has a much better production. That's Stevy Faux. That's technically Stevy Photography. Stevy F-A-U-X. Like that little play on words there. It's very clever. But he's got one hell of a setup. The best video and audio basically on YouTube, he asked me. Just great production. Highly encourage you guys to check him out. And it's not just him. As of late, he's been riding with Miss Stevie, his better half, on myriad adventures and trips around the great Midwestern state in which he resides. I won't name it in case he doesn't want to talk about it. But yeah, just great stuff. They have a great little dual vlog setup going on, where you can hear their banter back and forth. So it's real fun to watch. And Miss Stevie seems to have a great joy in riding. Reminds me a lot of myself when I first started it, a few years ago. I want to say 1990 or so. But yeah, just highly recommend it. And actually, if they would have any interest, I would like to suggest a topic for them to go over. I'd love to hear about, like, Miss Stevie's first lessons and all, what it was like, and did she learn from Stevie himself? Did she learn more from the course? Because I know when I took the motorcycle safety course, we had a guy who never even been on a bike before. So I guess some people do learn, you know, technically on the job, as it were. But just fascinating. So I mean, I guess I'll kind of tell you how I got my start. After I kind of did a story on my first motorcycle. Oh, also you'll get to see some nice twisties that we have up here in a little while. But yeah, my first motorcycle was gotten because I wrecked my car and I couldn't really afford another one. And I got in my head I wanted a motorcycle. So long story short, I went out and got one, saved up for a couple months and got me a motorcycle. My Honda CM400 beastly machine that it was. That was a great bike. I'll try to put a link below somewhere to show you that video, but that was just an awesome motorcycle for the time I had it. And but I'd never ridden before. I've been on a dirt bike a few times, but you know, it's a whole different ball game than being on a lower motorcycle on the street. So right next to the house where we live, just opportunely, there happened to be a dentist office, right? So I would practice shifting like first and second gears and learning how to balance the damn thing in the parking lot. Of course, you know, you can't go too fast. The parking lot wasn't more than 30 yards long, so it was like driving on half of a basketball court, you know. But because my mom let me live right around the neighborhood with it. So that's kind of how I taught myself, you know. Back then I used a lot of rear brake. I didn't ever mess with the front brake, and you know, I wasn't a blended braker back then. Because shame on me, I never took a motorcycle safety course back then. I wasn't an endorsed rider back in those Halcon days. But so I know the first time that I went on the road was basically the first time, like, out of the neighborhood. I practiced a little bit in the neighborhood, a couple hours for my shift at work. Got up to like third gear, and in fourth gear, even though I almost stalled it because it was going so slow in the neighborhood. But so I just got up there and did it. And I was a little nervous, you know. I think everyone's getting nervous the first time. I mean, if they're not, they're probably lying to you. It's a big deal, especially when you're a young kid like that. You know, you think you're invulnerable. But I didn't have any gear on. I had my freaking full face helmet, but I didn't have any gloves or nothing else on. So I went for it. And damned if, like on the last turn in to where I worked, which was Long John Silver's, great job there, huh? I dumped the bike, misjudged it, was going too slow, stalled it, and dumped it. And I didn't even know how to pick up a bike back then. And I was a scrawny ass back then. I had the damnedest time getting that bike off the ground. And then it was flooded. I didn't know this, of course. I couldn't get it started, so I basically pushed it back into the parking lot where I worked and parked it. And by the time I got back out from the shift, it would start again. But yeah, so I was basically 100% self-taught. But I was just curious if you guys had any kind of similar stories. And this goes for you too, Steve. I like to hear how you learned as well. Might make for an interesting little video. I'm sorry if you've already done one. I try to go back, but it's only so many hours in a day to watch videos. So, but yeah, that's a subject that appeals to me. And anyone else who rides that watches my channel, I'd be interested in. Oh, that was a good bump. Sorry, I lost my voice there for a second. How things came for you. Here's some nice sheer cliff walls. A lot of rocks right here. I gotta be real careful. They fall all the time. Not worry about getting hit by one. Not worry about riding into one. Not paying attention. Sitting here talking. But yeah, tell me how you learned, and if you still ride, tell me what you're riding and what you like to do. You know, at one point I wanted a crotch rocket a long time ago. We thought they were cool back then. Probably wisely for me, I never got one. I stuck with cruisers. It just fits my riding style better, and you know, I might have had a little bit of a heavier hand back then on the throttle, so maybe it was a good idea to keep me out of trouble. You know, because I did wind up wrecking my first car within 2 months of having it. So haven't wrecked one since then, though. But yeah, so maybe maybe it was for the best. But in the meantime, you know, I put a lot of damn miles on the road. I took a long break. I took almost a 20-year break from biking, and I had gotten in a wreck with my second motorcycle. I didn't technically wreck. Well, I did, but I didn't. I got T-boned by a pretty drunk girl. So I'm not going to take full responsibility for that one. She inched out a few times, and then we made eye contact, and I thought she stopped. I kind of pulled over the lane a little bit, but she had to have seen me, and then she just gunned it. And there was nowhere to go. I got friggin' dented her head with her on my back. I got thrown over the car, and I had a buddy on the back. He was stuck under the car for a little while. I got him out of there. Totaled the bike. But yeah, I kind of stopped riding. It wasn't really out of fear or anything, I don't think. I just, see, back then, and I've gone this in other videos before, so sorry to repeat myself, but the view is so nice today, I figured I better talk about something while you're looking. My only vehicle was a motorcycle for like 3 years. And, you know, the luster gets worn off that penny real fast when the only transportation you have is your motorcycle. In Florida, yes, you ride all year round, that's not a problem. The temperature, while it does get cold sometimes, it's not a big deal. Put a jacket on, you're fine. The problem is the rain. It's always raining on you. And there's no room to store stuff. You know, I had some little leather saddlebags, but, you know, you carry a backpack. But still, even just grocery shopping is a pain in the ass. Let's be honest. Every little thing, you know, putting the gear on to go somewhere, just for a trip around town or whatever, you know. It's just the pain, man. You gotta deal with the helmet afterwards, and worry about people stealing your stuff all the time if you leave it, you know, out in your bags, or it's attached to your bike, or sitting on your bike somewhere. It's hot out there, you know, air-cooled bikes back then. You know, my second bike had liquid cooling, which was really nice. But, so yeah, it's not fun, man. Sometimes just, I mean, it can be, but there's no way I would want to do it now. Let's just say that. Especially up here in West Virginia where it gets so bloody cold. You gotta put on so much gear, you look like the damn Michelin Man. Come November, it's just not feasible anymore. Maybe more so with this one, because I got the full fairing. Back then, all I had was open bikes, you know. Just cruisers, no windshields or anything. But once again, it's Florida. You didn't need it so much for the weather protection. Ah, some straightaway. Here we go. Let's open up a little bit. I don't want to do that too long. A lot of times it's a speed trap up here. But I just want to blow out the intakes a little bit. But, see, I took a long hiatus. And I was happening through YouTube, and one day there was a feed on there, I think by Motorcyclist magazine. I don't know why I popped in there. They probably paid for just to push it, you know, for a certain age group, demographic, whatever. The algorithm said it should be in my feed, so I saw my feed. I clicked on it, and man, I was hooked again like that. It was it was disgusting how fast I got hooked again. Beautiful countryside out here sometimes. The cool twisties are coming up. But I'm going to go right up through Point Pleasant and then back through some interstate. So yeah, like I said, I took that long break, but I mean, I guarantee I was putting between 12 and 15,000 miles a year on the bike back then. You know, it's your only vehicle. Orlando's a pretty spread out city. I joyride to the beach all the time or whatever, you know, what teenagers do. You know. Hey, squirrel. Hey, bird. Sometimes you see some turkeys out this way, too. Get some airflow going. So I jumped right back in, and my last bike, I took some vlogs with it, but my setup sucked, but it was my, I had a Suzuki C50 Boulevard, 805cc, whatever. That was a great little bike. I had that for a couple years before I got this baby. Decided to go with the Harley. But I wanted something big for the long miles. It's all interstate up here, man. You don't do any town cruising right here. The town will last like 5 minutes, and then you're through it. So it's not like Orlando when your whole place is a town for miles around, you know? That's why it was fun to go down with my friends, and we all rode together, kind of tearing up town a little bit. Around here, it's all interstate, so I wanted something bigger for soaking up the miles and taking long trips, which I plan to do hopefully later in the year. We talked about going out to California. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Because we'll only have about 2 weeks to play with, and that's not a ton of time if you want to stop and see everything, but I digress. But yeah, days like this, man, make you want to get out there and just put the miles on with no particular destination, which I don't have today, other than getting home. Later on I'll overdub it. I'll just put some music up here and let y'all see some of the scenery. You gotta be careful because turns could sneak up on you hard, and most of them aren't too big of sweepers. Like here's a good old S curve. Can take you unaware very easily if you're not careful, paying attention. Plus, you always gotta watch out for loose rock and stuff around here because of these sheer cliff sides. And oh boy, and there's a great place to be coming across an oversized load. Sorry, buddy. Hope I didn't screw his corner up too much, but there's only so far you can go over here. Especially this big old thing. Too lazy to downshift. Look at me. Plus, I know it gets so loud you can't hear on the videos if I downshift too much, so. The really fun ones are up here just a little ways further. Yeah, if you guys have a a subject you want me to talk about, or any stories you want me to regale you about, just let me know. I'll try to at least make them interesting if possible. Look at all them horses. My brother come up here. He's a farrier. I'm going to do a video on him next time I run into it, because for my interview series, it's really fascinating what he does. You don't really think about who puts the horseshoes on, but it's an age-old trade, and he's one of the few guys out there doing it. We're coming up on Route 2 before too much longer. Then we'll head back through Point Pleasant, and I'll go back up through Fraser's Bob and Leon and all that. And people come up from far and wide to ride our roads. I personally don't mind long. I kind of yearn for them sometimes, the long straightaway. Yeah, people get bored with it, but I mean, it's fun on smaller bikes you can squirt around on, but these big things gets to be a little bit of a chore. Not a huge deal, you get used to it, but sometimes you just want to put the cruise control on back and watch the miles go by without having to think too much about turns and all. Like, I mean, I got invited. We were supposed to do Dragon's Tail several months ago, but it didn't happen. And that'd be something. People do it on Gold Wings and stuff all the time, so that's not a problem. I just, you know, it's like, how much do you really enjoy that trip, you know? You can say you did it, but I don't know. We'll see if I ride it and I like it. But if you spend all your time with your knuckles, you know, and palms sweating, I'm going to downshift for this one. Who knows if it's enjoyable, so I take this one like a little baby, but it's because there's a change up here real fast, so you can drift off track really easy if you're not careful. Especially with traffic, will sometimes cut over the lane, so you got to be able to bail. I give her a little lean, not too bad. The old bike I used to take a lot faster than Bruin Hill to here. Sweet Betsy, she's not made for the narrows, alright? She's a bigger girl, and she likes wide open areas. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out there with me. Like I said, anything you want me to go over while I'm riding, be about anything, just let me know, and I'll try to make it happen. Alright, well, I'm coming around too, so I'll go turn the camera off and put my half-face helmet on and actually enjoy the wind. So I appreciate y'all hanging out, and this is Genome